What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is time for the weekly fragrance rotation number 33. Let's hop into it. Starting things off on Sunday, I went with Michael Jordan Cologne. Little throwback right here. This one is very fresh, spicy, aromatic on the top, and then as it dries down, you get a little bit of warm spice and a heavy dose of this woodiness. Came out a very long time ago, but in my opinion, it's still enjoyable. I love busting this one out from time to time. Downside, performance isn't the best. I get about maybe 2 or 3 hours of performance. This is an eau de cologne concentration. This one right here definitely takes you back in time a little bit, and that's what I love about it. What I wore on Sunday, Michael Jordan Cologne. What I wore on Monday is Drakkar Noir. This is another fragrance that has that throwback feel. This is extremely fresh and masculine. On the top, very fresh, spicy, aromatic. And then as it dries down, it becomes very earthy, green, woody. You get a big dose of this oak moss. There's just something about it that I really enjoy. I love busting this one out from time to time as well. Performance is decent. I get about 5 to 6 hours of performance. You can pick this one up in that $20 range. Don't knock it until you try it. What I wore on Monday, Drakkar Noir. What I wore on Tuesday is Guess 1981 Indigo. I forgot how enjoyable this stuff is. On the top, you get a blast of fruity fig along with this aromatic freshness. And then as it dries down, you get some nice woods in the base along with a blast of coconut. This is one of the OG men's coconut fragrances. Came out before Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau. If you want something that has a more unique edge for the summertime, fantastic option to go with. Performance is decent. I get about 5 hours of performance. Pops up at the rack stores all the time. You can get it in that $20 range. Definitely check this one out, guys. On Tuesday, Guess 1981 Indigo. On Wednesday, I went with Rasasi Hawass. This is one of, if not the best summertime fragrance for men. Smells so enjoyable. On the top, it is very fresh, fruity, citrusy. As it dries down, you definitely pick up this bubblegum aquaticness along with a little bit of this clean linen vibe at the same time. You get some nice woods in the base, a little spicy. Performance on this is insane. You easily get 8 to 9 hours of performance. Huge compliment getter. I've gotten tons of compliments wearing this stuff. If you want something super easy going and you know that you are going to smell great, fantastic option to go with. Again, on Wednesday, Rasasi Hawass. What I wore on Thursday is Ralph's Club EDT by Ralph Lauren. I haven't worn this one in a minute. Usually when I'm in the mood for this DNA, I tend to go for things like Lattafa Fakar because I do believe that is a better fragrance. But I saw this one sitting around and I decided, why not? Let me go ahead and wear it. It smells really nice though. In the opening, you get a blast of this sage along with some lavender. And then as it dries down, you get some woods. Very easygoing, very professional smelling. Fantastic office fragrance in my personal opinion. Performance is decent. You get about 6 hours of performance. You can pick it up for a pretty decent price. I believe in that $30 to $40 range. It's another one, pops up at the rack stores a decent amount. What I wore on Thursday, Ralph's Club EDT. What I wore on Friday is Guess Uomo Acqua. Little cheapy right here. I found this at a rack store. I actually made a video on this fragrance. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Picked it up for, I believe, in that $15 range for a 30 ml. It smells really enjoyable. It will remind you of things like Bleu de Chanel or Missoni Parfum Pour Homme. In the opening, very fresh, citrusy, a little fruity. But what makes this one a little bit different is you get a blast of this aromatic freshness from some rosemary. So it has a very strong rosemary vibe, and then as it dries down, you get that woody base. Downside, performance is pretty terrible. You get about 2, maybe 3 hours of performance at best. But even fragrances like that, I do have uses for them. Going to the gym, running errands. Plus, you could always bring it with you and just respray as you go. Honestly, I don't think respraying is that big of a deal. What I wore on Friday, Guess Uomo Acqua. And what I wore on Saturday, True Religion for Men. I just picked this one up at the rack stores. Go watch that video. It came out the day before this one. Funny little story behind this. I went into the rack stores with my dad. I picked up a certain fragrance and he grabbed a bottle of this. And he opened it up and he sprayed it in the parking lot. And I thought that it smelled so amazing that I had to turn back around and I got myself my own bottle. This one right here, it does kind of have that Invictus Aqua style DNA, but imagine you take that Invictus Aqua DNA and you add in a big dose of this bay leaf along with a little bit of this clean linen feel. Super fresh, citrusy, fruity. As it dries down, you get that bubblegum aquaticness along with that herbal bay leaf. a little bit of this clean laundry vibe and some woods in the base. Smells incredible. It will remind you of things like Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct together. Only downside, performance on this one isn't that good. I get about 4 hours of performance, but again, smells amazing. Bring it with you, spray as you go. You'll be perfectly fine. Big compliment getter as well. Everybody loves the Invictus Aqua DNA. What I wore on Saturday, True Religion for Men. All right, that wraps up the weekly fragrance rotation number 33. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.